Welcome to Pathway for Life. I'm Bob Kimball. To give you some idea of who I am and what I do, I'm a professor in the Department of Commerce at the University of West Florida. My specialties are marketing fundamentals, professional selling, and sales management. You also may know me for some of my YouTube videos. My entire Marketing Fundamentals course, 16 lectures, is available under Marketing Fundamentals with Bob, and my sales training series, 8 mods, about 20 minutes each, on Bob's Sales Camp. If you deal face-to-face with people or know some friends and colleagues who do, check this out. I think you'll find it of value to you. So today, I'm not going to be so presumptuous as to tell you how to live your life. But what I am here to talk about is that I have found for myself and many other people consistently there are certain events, certain awakenings, certain paradigm shifts that consistently seem to occur. And so I think we can all benefit by knowing these ahead of time and being prepared for them accordingly. The first one to look at is, what are your strengths? We all have certain strengths. For me, it's kind of math. I can run numbers. I did a math major in college. Just there's no reason, because I can do it. I can run calculus in my head. I can do differential equations just on a little piece of paper. It's nothing. I can just do this stuff. And so, with that skill, I got my first real job at Coca-Cola USA in marketing research. Now, I know this is going to date me a little bit, but this goes back not just before the invention of the personal computer, but before the invention of the electronic calculator, when we had to run numbers manually. So I had this mammoth Frieden manual calculator sitting on my desk there. I'd punch in the numbers, I'd hit a function key, the thing would go ka-chunk, 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 one digit at a time, and have a number, and put it out, and I'd be creating data sets all day long and all that. And I was good at it, but that brings us to the next point on our pathway for life. To go beyond that and say, what is it you love to do? For me, what I love to do is get up in front of an audience doing a show. That's what I'm doing now, ain't it? Yeah. And I was in the theater group in high school. In college, I had my own program on the campus radio station. I love just getting up in front of a group and doing a show. And I'm looking at all this data that I'm dealing with here and wondering if I can somehow put this out into a show. At the time, we'd get a local market Nielsen report, and the thing would be about an 8-inch stack of paper with just a bunch of numbers all over the place. Very difficult to get your way through. So I figured a way I can make this thing into about a 40-minute presentation and put it on transparencies. Share a market trends, share a packaging trends, space to sales ratios, out of stock conditions, stuff like that. And then I gotta find a place to take this out and show it. And I was working with our district manager in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and asked him, what do you think? Come out and do this show for you in Fort Wayne? He said, yeah, come on, I'll do it. So go to Fort Wayne, give my presentation, show it to these people, and they were astonished. They just went, son of a gun, this is great. I had no idea all this stuff was here. We can use this stuff. So that was great. Head back to Atlanta. The next day, I get back to Atlanta, go into my office. 2 other bottlers have called up asking me to come up and do the show for them. So I'm started now. I'm running, I'm doing this on a regular basis. And the other step that we come to after this point is, yeah, you're doing this, it's great, you're doing all thing like that, but now take it and how do you expand it and make it so it's something more than it was? And so I was able to do that. I got the chance to be a speaker at certain regional sales conferences, stuff like that. Got a chance to really get involved with a lot of the training programs that they were doing with their action teams. They had action teams going into markets to a whole bunch of people would hit a marketplace and, they're working on space resets, they're putting in end of cap reviews, and all sorts of things, display action, all sorts of stuff doing in the store. They're really getting out there and doing stuff, and I give them a little help in getting the program going for them. Also, what really happened at that point, which was the big change for me, was I got the chance to get involved in the sales and management training programs for company and bottler personnel. And I started off initially doing something that might last an hour, got to the point I was doing programs which would last for 2 full days, going all across the country doing this. Son of a gun. I'm having a ball. I'm out there doing my show on a regular basis. I'm making really good money. I'm working for a company I really like being with. I really like being with Coca-Cola. I really love the people I was with. But then, that next little light goes on in my mind. The next little flash that happens, this is your next paradigm shift. And that as I begin thinking, I gotta pursue my dream. What can I do on my own to make something happen? And so, I did it. I made the jump. I went into business for myself as the Kimball organization, and got started initially for doing some programs with Cotton States Insurance, Linear Business Products, Georgia Department of Education, a few others here and there. And I'm thinking at this time too now, what I really would like to do with the business is get involved with some of these Coca-Cola bottlers that used to get my services for nothing, but now would have to pay me. Well, here we come back to what is another one of the very important moments that you'll have on your pathway for life. And that is, you've heard the parable of spreading the seeds, where you spread some seeds on a regular basis. Some land on a rock and they just die away. Others fall in sand. They begin to sprout a little bit but don't go anywhere. But some fall in fertile soil. My point that I would make to you is, every day of your life, you are spreading those seeds. Spread seeds. Do something that makes a contribution to other people. Don't worry about getting paid for it or what they're going to give for you in return. Just do it. And it was interesting to me, in my first year at Coke, again, I was at my desk. I got a call from our district manager in Memphis, Luke Cranford. And he says, you got to look at our Nielsen report. There's something wrong with it. It's just not reflecting what's going on in the marketplace. So I went to my boss, the director of marketing research, and explained the idea to him, and he goes, oh, dude, no, don't worry about that. They are always complaining about that. They're getting crushed in the marketplace. They want to blame the data, so let it go. Well, I wasn't going to let it go. I got with Nielsen. I dove in and tried to look at what that sample looked like and all that. I was astonished. They had not updated that sample since the mid-50s. It was mostly mom and pop stores. They'd never brought in the big chain stores that were coming into the marketplace. So with Nielsen, I got them to fully update their sample. Got them together. They and I went to Memphis to meet with Luke and do a presentation to the bottler on the new data. And Luke was profoundly appreciative of what I had done for him. Glad to do it. Never thought anything about that. But then, 13 years later, I'm looking at trying to figure out Coca-Cola bottlers that I can approach. And one I thought would be a real good opportunity was Birmingham Coca-Cola. And so I looked into them, and son of a gun, their marketing director and sales director is Luke Cranford. Son of a gun. So I go over to Birmingham, present Luke my ideas, boom, it's closed. I do the program for it. And then we're doing the program. It's an all-day Friday and a Saturday morning program on management and then on sales itself. And here's the next point in your pathway, and that is, get out there, do a great job to begin with, and then get your client to confirm you did a great job, and then ask for a referral, but do it in a very casual environment and all that. With Luke, we got toward that end of that first day on Friday, and I'm thinking, I wonder if I can get Luke to go out and let's do a run. He said, yeah, he said, great, let's go and do a run. So we got out there, and Luke says to me, what do you think, Bob? You good for 5 miles today? I said, I don't know, Luke. I was thinking about doing 7. So we went out and we ran 7 miles. We came back, we're sitting around, we're trying to cool down, and very casual. I said, tell me, Luke, how do you think the program went today? And he said, it was great. I've had nothing but positive comments about it. Some of the best comments I have had have been from people that didn't want to do the program in the first place. Okay, now's the time to ask for a referral. But when you ask for a referral, don't ask anyone to do a favor for you. Ask them to extend something to help someone else. So I said, that's great, Luke. You know anybody else who could benefit from a program like this? He says, well, you might talk to Bill Hitchcock in Montgomery. Okay. Monday morning, I'm back in Atlanta. I give a call to Bill Hitchcock in Montgomery. Again, 7-second intro on the phone. That's about the time you got. Mr. Hitchcock, this is Bob Kimball with the Kimball Organization. Luke Cranford from Birmingham Coca-Cola suggested I give you a call. Did a real quick overview of what I was doing with him. Suggested to him, I don't know if this program's right for you, but you're going to know in about 20 minutes. How about we get together tomorrow morning at about 10 o'clock and talk about it? So down in Montgomery, talked to him. 2 days later, came back there to talk to all their field managers. Boom, it was closed. And that was the thing that was so interesting about that, was what I didn't realize at the time was that when I had gone in to see Bill Hitchcock, I had to wait a little bit for a secretary, because the secretary had said, Mr. Hitchcock will be with you in a moment, Mr. Kimball, but right now he's on a phone call. When he's done, he'll talk to you. He was on the phone with Luke Cranford. They were talking about it. Boom, it's good. Then after that, son of a gun, without me even doing anything, bottlers in Rome, Georgia and Chattanooga, Tennessee heard about me. And they decided, please come down and do the program for us. Well, the next step then in your paradigm for life is, again, expand the business. How can I do something with it and all this stuff? And that's what I was thinking when I first considered going up to the University of Georgia and doing a PhD program. Because I figured, I get up to UGA and do the PhD program. I am bound to run across a lot of achievement-oriented people that I might well turn into clients. It also did not escape my attention that by putting a PhD at the end of my name, I could probably substantially increase my fees. So up I go to UGA. My first term up there, I'm a graduate teaching assistant. I'm teaching marketing fundamentals and professional selling, and it was intriguing. About 6 weeks into that term, the next light on my pathway goes off, and this is the critical one, the really critical one. And that is, I said to myself, I'm going into college teaching. And the reason was, what I had come to understand was, in teaching college, I can make a difference to people. I could impact their lives. Sure, I was having a lot of fun, I was making a lot of money, but the whole point to life is impacting others. And what can you do for them? And so I've come down to the University of West Florida. I can remember my screening interview with Parks Dimsdale in our Department of Marketing at the time. And he asked me the question, well, Bob, why do you want to come to the University of West Florida? And I said, because you're committed to excellence in teaching. They were then, they are to this day. And that is why every day when I get up, I really look forward to going into the university, because I know I make a difference to students in their lives, in the classroom and outside the classroom as well. In addition, at the university, I've had the opportunity to get involved in the University of West Florida Foundation in establishing scholarships. I sponsor 70 scholarships a year at the university in the name of my mom and dad, the Bill and Ellie Kimball Memorial Scholarships. Honor your mother and father. I heard that someplace. I read that somewhere. I ran across it somewhere. Anyhow, that's what I do there. So I'm making a difference at the University of West Florida. And so that's sort of my story. I hope you'll check me out further now. Go check out my Marketing Fundamentals course at Marketing Fundamentals with Bob, or my sales training program at Bob's Sales Camp. But enough of me. Now it's your turn to get out there and make a dent in the universe.